Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. We mentioned in the previous episode some of the features that happen when the angel Israfil alayhi salam is going to blow the trumpet. And the people in the grave will be removed from the grave. They will come out of the grave. Their bodies will be restored. It doesn't matter even if you are cremated or your bodies are burned to dust or into ashes, or your body has been shot out into outer space to the Andromeda galaxy. It does not matter. Every single human being will be brought back to the planet Earth and will be ushered in ranks towards the plane of gathering, which is known as the Hashar, or the place of gathering. And tradition says that that will be from the plains of Arafat, right? So at that stage, all the various continents of the world will all once again combine to form one massive continent. So you won't have the various different continents, because remember, everything will be smashed to powder. The hills, the sand dunes, everything will be reduced to powder. All the various landmarks will be gone. Cars, planes, trains, everything will be gone. And all the various continents will combine to form one flat surface. It'll be like a huge, round, flat pizza. And around this place of gathering will be the ocean. All the oceans will combine. The Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, the Southern Ocean, the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, all of them will form one huge mass of water. And what's interesting is that on that day, the oceans will be boiling. The oceans will be so hot that they will actually be boiling, right? So let's continue with this particular verse. I'm just trying to look for my pointer. Then it will be a single compelling cry, and behold, they will begin to see. They will say, "Ah, woe to us! This is the day of judgment." So on that day, they will recognize the thing that they denied. And the Quran, which is the final divine scripture, which has been sent to mankind to rectify the errors of the previous scripture. And remember, God does not make mistakes. All the previous scriptures were 100% correct until human beings started interfering, because they did not like some of the verses of the Quran, at least of the Bible, and they started changing some of the verses of the Bible. They removed certain verses and they added new verses to suit them. And these were mainly the elite, the wealthy elite, the shadow forces who want world domination and want to control the masses. So God, in His mercy, then sent the final divine scripture, which is the Quran, to point out the errors that human beings have introduced into the Bible and into other scriptures, and to tell humanity once and for all that the Quran is the final message from the Creator Supreme to all of mankind, and in it, it contains the truth. So when the Quran says that yes, guaranteed that you will die, that is the absolute truth. And when the Quran says that yes, guaranteed you will be brought back to life again, that is the absolute truth. And when the Quran says that yes, there is a day of judgment, that is the absolute truth. Yet there are some people who deny it. And the deniers of this reality will be in a state of great shock on that day, because they will not be able to understand how the entire body has been reformed again and they've been resurrected from the dead. And they thought that their ashes were scattered into the far winds and thrown into the ocean. And they won't be able to believe that even though their bodies were cremated, their entire flesh and bones and eyes and memory Everything has been restored, and they will be in a state of skrik, a big shock of their life, because they could not think it possible that they would ever be brought back to life. And the ones who will be in even more greater fear will be the criminals of the world. Whether you have been a criminal in the street and you thought you got away with your crime, or you've been breaking into people's houses and you got away with your crime, or people have murdered people and they got away with the crime, those who have been raping and got away with the crime, or whether you're an honorable member of parliament and you've been involved in corruption and tender corruption and corruption in the prepaid meter and corruption in the licensing department and corruption in the banking institutes and corruption in the education department and corruption in the supply of medical equipment and so on, accepting bribery and so on, or whether you're a chairman of the board, you're a big shot chairman in a boardroom and you've been involved in some or other criminal activities, or even if you are a big shot on the world stage, part of the United Nations, or part of these huge people that are so far the elite of the elite in their suit and tie, or in their outstanding Gucci garments or their designer garments, and they feel that they are untouchable because their money has allowed them to escape. But on this day, there will be no escape, because all of the crimes will be shown to them in vivid detail, in high definition videos, audio visual, and nobody can escape that, because no matter how many secret dealings there were, you cannot escape that secret dealings. You cannot remove God from the equation. God is there with the criminals when they have been committing this crime. And on the day of judgment, they will then realize with shame and horror that all the criminal activities are now being revealed. And that is why the day of judgment is also known as the day of accountability, also the day of justice for the victims of crime. It is also known as the day of regret, where people did not want to read the Quran and they say, I wish I had read it, then at least I could know what is going on. Or the day of shame and humiliation, and the day of loss and gain, where the big shots of the world, the arrogant people of the world, will then become small shots. Their arrogance will leave them. Their ego will be broken. Their arrogance will be broken. And on that day, when all of humanity will be commanded to bow down to the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth, then those people who refuse to bow down during the time on earth, they will not be allowed to bow down on that day. So those who will be standing on that day, their knees will not bend. They will be the ones who will be punished, because they refused to recognize and acknowledge the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth while they were alive. So now this is the beginning of their punishment for all of eternity. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.